Welcome back to another video, and today we're looking at a beginner's guide to BMW Z3 exhausts. Now the exhaust is the sound of your Z3 singing. Some people want it to sing louder, some people want it to sing better, but what we can all agree on is that when you get into a tunnel, you drop a gear and floor it, and that is, it's a law, let's be honest, you have to do it. So how do you go about upgrading your Z3 exhaust, not only just for the sound, but also for performance benefit? Well, as in the other beginner guides, we're going to be going through this in stages, and stage 1, we're going to stick with stock and shiny. So if you've got an older car and you want to replace just what you have, you're happy with how it sounds, or maybe it's a little bit louder than it was a few years ago, then stock will make it a little bit quieter because the baffles will be new, and you'll have a better looking exhaust as well. If you just want to make your current exhaust look a little bit newer and shinier, then you can buy some aftermarket exhaust tips. These do nothing other than make the car look shiny, and for some that is more than enough. But before we go any further, I wanted to say thank you for everyone that's come onto the channel and been subscribing and liking the videos. The response has been brilliant, so if you enjoy the videos, if you get something out of it, if you learn something, then please leave a like, subscribe to see more, and let's continue with the video. So what if you do want to turn it up a notch? Turn the volume up a little bit and possibly get some performance benefits. You go to stage 2, and that is an aftermarket back box. So an exhaust is made up of different sections. You have the headers, which attach to the engine block. Then you have the catalytic converter section, where the catalytic converter sits. Then on the Z3 you have the resonator all the way through to the back box as one piece. So the back box is the big box that sits underneath the rear bumper. Its main job is to dampen the sound coming out of the exhaust. So if you open it up, it has some tubing to redirect the gases and some baffles to disperse the sound. Now there aren't that many options for back boxes for Z3s because they come as an entire section with the resonator. There are a couple, but you will need to have someone on hand to weld that into place. There are, however, a couple options that you can do with your back box. First option, get rid of it. If you don't want to dampen any sound at all, then just bin it. You can cut it off, get someone to weld some nice tips onto the back of it, and you'll have a very loud but very nice sounding Z3. Option number 2 is to open the back box and cut the baffles. As I said before, inside the back box you have some pipes with baffles. You can remove one of the pipes, or however many you want to remove. You can open up sections of the baffling to allow the gases to flow more freely. This will lessen the restriction, allow the gases to pass through the back box quicker, which should give you a small, but in some way, a performance benefit. It'll also let the sound reverberate a little bit more, making it a little bit more rumbly, a little bit louder, if that's what you're going for. And thanks to Pingu from zroaster.org for actually cutting into an exhaust back box and seeing what's inside and drawing what's inside. Now we move on to the proper jobs. If you want to do this properly, you have to get a catback exhaust system, which is stage 3. Catback means anything from the catalytic converter back to the rear axle, and that is one piece that comes for the Z3. This also means that your emissions will stay legal as long as your cat is good and there. You also have an option of different types of material. You can go from mild steel to stainless steel, and I would recommend stainless steel because it should last a whole lot longer. You can get long life aftermarket exhaust systems that have a lifetime warranty. So here is a list of some of the options that you can get for your Z3. Specifically for the 1.9 4 cylinders, you've got Cobra.
Give it some. Whoa! Whoa! Race car!
Super Sprint is a brand that has aftermarket exhaust for all the variants of Z3s. Similarly, Magnaflow have a variant of exhaust for all the different Z3s. As does Eissmann, a German company. So now that you've had a chance to listen to some of the Z3 aftermarket exhaust, let's move to stage 4. Now stage 4 is headers. As I said at the beginning of the video, headers are the part of the exhaust which attach to the engine block itself and the exhaust comes out of and then through the car. If you're looking for upgraded headers, a big problem is that they didn't make many for the right-hand drive Z3s. You know, the ones that drive on the correct side of the road. It's literally just because the French wanted to be different that everyone else drives on the wrong side of the road. That's it. Isn't history wonderful? Anyway, so left-hand drive Z3s, you have the benefit of Schmiedmann. You have the benefit of Schmiedmann Z3 headers, and they say they can give you some more performance as well, but they will also open up some noises. For those of you with right-hand drive Z3s, if you're looking for performance or a sound boost, then custom made is the way to go. Now you can call up a performance exhaust specialist that makes custom headers, custom exhaust parts, and get it done that way, and that's probably the best way of doing it. Talking of custom, we're going to stage 5. So for the best performance and, let's face it, sound gains, you're going to want a custom exhaust. The cost depends on which parts of the exhaust you're going to get made. If you're going for a complete system, headers, cat, and then cat back, that's going to cost you more than just having a back box done or just having cat back done. Same with the headers in stage 4. Look up any local garage that does custom exhaust work. Talk to them about what you're looking for and what you're looking to gain from your custom exhaust. If you're someone who wants to race a car, you don't have to worry about the catalytic converter because, well, it's a race car. But if you want to track it, then you're going to have the cat in there anyway. And make sure that they've done work on your type of car before or for your performance level. You don't want old matey who can weld. No, the quality you want is something like this. And as a general guide, when you're looking to make a custom exhaust or upgrade your exhaust, you can go for a bigger diameter exhaust pipe. And what this means is that the exhaust can flow more freely and it doesn't create back pressure, which is the resistance of air against the gases. You don't want any back pressure at all. But if you're going to be dailying a car, you don't want too much free flowing because then you will get back pressure and you'll lose a bit of torque in the low end. But if you have a race car, you're not going to be using low end at all. You're going to be in the higher rev range, so wider diameter is better. Now for Z3s, they are between 118 to about 300 odd horsepower, depending on the Z3 model you have. So anything between 2.5 inches to 3 inches is probably the right size for you. So as a quick recap, stage 1 is stock. You just replace old parts with new parts or screw on a nice shiny tip to the back of your exhaust. Stage 2 is back box. You can get one that's like a universalish one that you have to have welded on. You can just cut it straight off, weld some tips on, or you can cut the top off your back box and pull out the baffles and play around with that. Stage 3 is aftermarket catback exhaust with a whole bunch of different options. Stage 4 is headers. There's like a couple options for left-hand drive, but custom is really the way you want to go, and it's the only way you can go if you're right-hand drive. And stage 5 is full custom job exhaust. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, then leave a like, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.